Hey guys, my wife did a study in her Bibles last night, and she hasn't actually written in her King James from Church Bible Publishers. It's the one in my past videos with the really nice looking, very awesome grain, leather grain. Anyways, she's been holding off on writing in this one because she's had so many where she's just gotten she feels that she's gotten kind of carried away, like we all have in the past, where you start writing and then you feel like you've just done a little bit too much. And so she took her time, but she noticed something last night. She's never used the microns, and she usually just grabs whatever pins around, or, you know, pencil, pen, whatever. And now she's starting to, you know, get more into pens and stuff. And I was telling her about the microns, the archival ink pens that we all use, and started using them. And I said they don't bleed through. I mean, well, they don't if you take your time with them. They might if you drag your pen too long. Anyways, this is her King James, and in my past video, guys, you know that I've been talking about these Thompson Chain King James Bibles having different paper than their other Bibles. So I want to show you guys here. This is something that she noticed last night and said, hey, you know, babe, check this out. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do a video on this. She used her micron last night. This is the 05 green micron archival ink. As you can see, there's show through. It's not bleed through, it's just you can see a faint green, and in person it's not even as, the camera picks it up more. So what you're seeing there in person is not as bad as the camera. So it's not bleed through, it's just show through. Did a really good job, and she said she did a very heavy line here. She writes really heavy, and so sometimes pens will bleed through. As you can see, it's a very dark, for a micron that's dark. She really went slow trying to do a nice straight line. She doesn't use rulers or cards like I do. Anyways, last night she went and did like a dual study type thing, and she had written in her new King James. This is a Ben's Bible rebind. If you haven't seen this review, just jump back and look. There will be a new King James review of this when I got it from a Christian Book, which had the Kirkbride genuine leather on it, and then I had Ben's Bibles rebind this for me. Just a beautiful rebind for her. And this color doesn't show very well inside. You have to see the video that I did outside. It's beautiful. But anyways, last night she took that micron. Okay, so as you can see here, she did this one first, and then she did this one for me, so for my review, to see if it would bleed through on her King James. So I thank her for that. That was really cool of her to do that in her King James for her first thing here. But she was doing a study on this, and she wrote in the margin, and then she did her underline. And she did it faster on this one because she was afraid of it bleeding through. And look what happened, guys. This paper on the New King James, the NASB, all of their other editions, even their handy size King James, guys, is different paper than the regular size King James. It might be the same paper, but it's treated differently. So when I'm saying different paper, I'm not meaning it's completely different. I'm sure this is probably India paper, like they say, just like this. But you can feel the difference with the King James. It has more of a grainy feel to it. It's not as slick and shiny. And you get a little bit more ghosting than you do with their newer ones. So when you see these, you think, oh man, there's less ghosting, so I'm not going to get as much bleed through when I write with my pen. No, not true. So this is the other side of her page, guys, with the micron. It looks like she wrote on this side, almost. I mean, look at that, guys. It completely went through. All the way through. And even the show through is worse. I mean, but you can see the little dots where the ink is literally bleeding through. But right there where she wrote is really bad. So, yeah, that's a big difference. Big difference. So let's flip over here. You can see she underlined prayfulness. You can't even see it in the margin. If that would have been in her New King James, that would have been all the way through, and it would have looked like she had underlined that from this side. So, wow. I was really shocked by that. I like this paper in the New King James because of the ghosting and the layout, but this thing is so thick. I was going to get one, but I just don't want one because of how big it is. It's just, look at the size of it compared to the King James. And the Thompson Bibles are a pretty good sized Bible. I mean, they're not small, and we're getting used to thin lines. But look at the difference of how thick that Bible is. I mean, this thing is like a full-on study Bible, like it's full of commentary or something, which it's not. And then when you have that high opacity paper where, you know, it doesn't have any, you would think it wouldn't have any bleed through with pins, but yeah, totally shocked, guys. So I thought I would share that with you. And then I'll jump over here because I showed this in my last video. This is my King James from Church Bible Publishers, so same Bible as my wife's. So I'll show you guys, 3-piece. If you want to see a video, jump back. I have a review of this one. But as you can see, I did my pin here, and I showed this in another video too with some other Bibles. So if you want to look back at that, you can. But look at the other side. Focus here. No bleed through like that New King James. And this is the same size 05 in dark blue. And it's very dark, guys. I mean, I don't go super slow and I don't go super fast. I just go to normal pace so I can get a nice, clean. And even here, you know, where I had to double up on the lines because I messed up right there where it says wrath and anger, I went thick right there, right? So if you jump over here, you would think that maybe that would have bled through in those spots, but it didn't. Right there, you can see that it's just show through, no bleed through. So even though this is thinner paper to the touch, I mean, it's super thin paper, and it has some slight ghosting. I mean, it's not horribly bad. I don't really freak out too much over ghosting. It depends on the layout of the Bible and the quality of the ink. Okay, so yeah, I was just shocked by that. I think that's kind of a bummer for people that get the different Thompsons, and a lot of people do, because not a lot of people like the King James, so they want to go with a different translation, and the paper's different. So when I'm reviewing stuff like that, I have to be aware of letting people know. And here's my new Clerandon that I just got, R.L. Allan, beautiful. Absolutely one of my highest recommendations for getting a Bible, guys. If you are on the fence about getting this one, do it. It's an awesome Bible. But check out the print here. This is the same paper. This is India paper, 22 GSM. So it's literally pretty much the same paper that you're going to find in the King James Thompson Chain. It might be treated differently and have a different feel to it, but it is India paper. So as you can see, I was thinking, it's probably going to get a little bit of bleed through, show through, and whatnot. Check this out. Very thin. I mean, you can hear that, guys. It's super thin paper, but it's very strong paper. And as you can see, flip it over here. There's your print. So it's literally on this side, so I'm not looking at the wrong spot. And look at that, guys. How awesome is that? I love it. This is a good Bible, man. It has very good paper. So if you're on the fence about getting a Clerandon from R.L. Allan and thinking that their paper might be a little too thin for that reason, don't worry, guys. If you use your microns in this, an 05 micron, which is a pretty good micron for underlining, it's thick. I would have expected to see at least some blue on this side, but there's nothing. And remember, the camera picks it up even more than your eyes, so yeah. Anyways, I was really surprised, guys. So yeah, definitely get one of these Bibles. They're awesome. I love them. And the King James edition from Church Bible Publishers, you can't really go wrong with them. And they're just beautiful Bibles. Don't be afraid of that thin paper. It might be have a little bit of ghosting, but excellent for writing in. Anyways, guys, God bless. See you next time.